We are in topic 2, focusing on minimal processed fruit and vegetables.
Have you ever picked up a perfect, shiny apple and really thought about its backstory? Today, we're going on an incredible, high-stakes journey, the unseen trip your food takes from the moment it's picked to the moment it lands in your cart. All right, let's get into it.
I mean, we all know this scene, right? Rows and rows of flawless, vibrant fruits and vegetables, everything looking absolutely pristine. It's the beautiful, perfect end result. But you gotta know, this perfection is no accident. It's actually the successful end to a long and pretty perilous adventure. So yeah, that really is the big question. How on earth does a delicate piece of produce survive being harvested, packed, and then travel hundreds, sometimes even thousands of miles to land on a shelf without a single blemish? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. So the whole journey kicks off the instant a fruit or vegetable is harvested. And right from that very first moment, the clock starts ticking. And the first major challenge pops up right away, just handling it without messing it up. On the left, you see the ideal, careful, gentle harvesting. But the reality, especially on an industrial scale, can be a lot rougher, like what you see on the right. And this isn't just about looks, not at all. Every single bruise or scrape is a really serious problem. The crucial thing to understand is that any one of these injuries, a bruise, a cut, a puncture, it's way more than just a mark. It's basically an open wound. It's like putting out a welcome mat for mold and bacteria to get inside. And that's what kickstarts the whole process of decay and spoilage. So, to survive the long road ahead, produce can't just be thrown in a box. No way. It has to be prepared, pampered even. So let's move to the next stage and see what happens inside what I like to call a high-tech fruit spa, the packing house. And wow, just look at the scale and complexity here. This is not some simple warehouse. It's a highly organized, multi-stage facility where every single step is designed to clean, sort, and protect the produce for that long journey ahead. The whole process is incredibly systematic. First, the produce is gently dumped and cleaned of any dirt from the field. Then it's pre-sorted to get rid of any obviously damaged items. After a really thorough wash, it goes through some special treatments before finally being graded for quality and packed up with care. And this part is just brilliant because it explains so much. You ever wonder why some apples are so incredibly shiny? Well, it's not just for looks. A super thin layer of edible wax is applied to replace the fruit's natural protective coating that gets washed off. This actually locks in moisture and keeps it crisp. How cool is that? Okay, so the produce is clean and it's protected from physical harm. But now it faces a totally invisible enemy, its own biology. This is the race against time, the real race against spoilage. The number one problem that has to be solved right away is something called field heat. It's basically just the warmth the produce soaks up from the sun and the air. But that heat, oh man, it's like hitting the fast forward button on decay. Because here's the wild part, that fruit or vegetable in your hand, it's still a living tissue. It's still breathing or respiring. And the warmer it is, the faster it breathes, using up all its energy and breaking down its own cells. So the whole game is to cool it down, and fast, to slow that whole process way, way down. And there isn't just one way to cool things down. Different types of produce need different methods. Some, like tomatoes, are fine just hanging out in a cold room. Others, like carrots, get a full-on bath in chilled water. That's called hydrocooling. And then some leafy greens get a treatment that's straight out of science fiction. Check this out. This is vacuum cooling. They put something like lettuce in a sealed chamber, pump all the air out, and that huge drop in pressure causes water on the leaves to instantly evaporate. Poof. This evaporation literally pulls the heat away from the produce, chilling it from the inside out in just a few minutes. It's incredible. Okay. So our produce is now clean, it's been treated, and it's chilled. It's ready for the final stages before it finally hits the road, getting packaged, protected, and stored under some very precisely controlled conditions. And packaging is so much more than just a box. Of course, it contains and protects the product, but it's also designed for logistics, so it can be stacked efficiently on pallets, and it communicates key information to everyone in the supply chain, and then finally to you. Once it's all packed up, long-term storage is this delicate balancing act between two critical things. We already know that a low temperature is key to slowing down decay, but just as important is high relative humidity.
This keeps the air moist, which stops the produce from drying out, wilting, and losing weight.
And, after all that science, all that technology and logistics, it's pretty amazing to remember that it all starts right here, in a field or an orchard, with a simple act of harvesting. This journey from the soil to the supermarket, it's truly a modern marvel.
So the next time you pick up that perfect pear or that flawless head of lettuce, what are you going to think about? The race against field heat? The high-tech fruit spa? Or that delicate balance of temperature and humidity that kept it fresh just for you? There's a whole world of science in every single bite.
Thank you. Disclaimer. Artificial intelligence, AI, was used in the development of selected instructional materials in this lesson. The use of AI is intended to enhance clarity, visualization, and learning engagement, while all academic content has been reviewed and guided by the instructor.